Eurovision fam, it's Alicia Michelle. I am back and we have our discussion series of Eurovision 2022 continuing. Hey, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome. I've been working really hard to become every European's favorite American Eurovision fan, and I'm working overtime, okay? Today we are going to be talking about your favorite rock tracks at the Eurovision 2022 Song Contest. Let's get into it.
Hey, what, Eurovision 2022. I got a new video. Alicia Michelle, I'm ready to go.
Are you ready?
Eurovision fam,
Yeah.
Are you ready for the show?
I gotta say, I really love doing videos like this because I feel like when I first started my channel, this is really like all that I did. You know, I didn't have a ton of access to stuff, so like most of the stuff was just us having like conversations, and that's really what I started my channel for, to have these conversations and talk to y'all so that we can kind of be each other's like, you know, Eurovision friends. Mostly because I'm sure you all probably have Eurovision friends. I don't have that many, and I was in America and I was by myself and I could not talk about Eurovision with my friends because they had no clue what I was talking about. So one, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for coming here, and let's get into this. Okay, so with this one, I actually did a thing where I kind of told people what I felt like a rock entry was. And it was really interesting because I feel like some Europeans were kind of like, oh, well, that song's sort of like funk, which to me as an American, like funk and rock are, I think I said on Twitter that they were cousins, but I changed my mind. I actually think that funk and rock are brother and sister. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying funk and rock are like brother and sister. I think funk just is a little bit more soulful. I think it's got a little bit more of its roots sort of in R&B, but there is something still so rock and roll about funk. And this is so fun. Like, I don't know if y'all have this show, but Mike Judge did this series that was like an animated series where he would interview people. And so the first season was talking about like country music, and the second season was focused on funk. And when I just tell you, you have to watch it. Like, it's animated, but they basically take interviews that they've had with people, animated them, and it's just people sort of telling the stories of like their experiences like on the ground and stuff. So some of the stories might be maybe not completely factual, like we don't necessarily have like super reliable narrators here, and the people are just like, yeah, I was doing a lot of drugs, so like as I remember it. Like, that's sort of how the series goes, so I highly recommend it. But there's something still really rock and roll, I think, about funk. I also think that rock can sometimes be a little bit more like lo-fi and indie, and so to me, that's like Georgia. So to me, I kind of feel like Slovenia and Latvia are giving us a little bit more of the funk side, but like, at its heart, you know, funk is about being like a rock star, you know, like James Brown was a rock star. I don't care what anyone says. James Brown was a rock star. Rick James was a rock star. If you asked Rick James, he would tell you that he was a rock star. Yes, he was doing funk music, but he was a rock star. So you get kind of the train that I'm on. If you don't agree, it's okay. You can fight me in the comments about how Slovenia and Latvia aren't rock entries. But for the purposes of this discussion, I wanted them countries in the mix, so I put them in the mix. And some people voted for them, so okay. Also, some people had questions about Georgia being a rock entry, and that to me is like pretty straightforward, like indie alterna rock. So that one, I don't even know how to describe why I think it's rock. I just think that it is like indie alternative rock. So I put Georgia in there. And I mean, how could y'all be mad at me? I just want these countries to get some love, you know what I'm saying? So people can vote on them and then we can talk about them. So don't be so upset. Like, it just gives us an opportunity to talk about the entries in this video. So it's the rock tops for Eurovision 2022. All right, we're starting from the bottom with 2 points. Bulgaria. I saw a comment from someone the other day that was like, y'all are all gonna laugh when Bulgaria qualifies. Will we be laughing or will we be in a parallel universe? Because it ain't happening. It just, like, I think objectively, that's not happening. I don't even think this is one of those things of, like, I don't like the song. I think the song is easy listening. I think it's really not that bad. I think that people just, it feels worse because I think people were just expecting Bulgaria to do something else. I really think that that's at the root of this. But to be honest, for me, I feel like Bulgaria invested a lot into Victoria for 2020 and then second time around in 2021. So Bulgaria needed like a palate cleanser year, and this song is giving very much so palate cleanser. I will also highlight, somebody on Twitter said that it sounds like the theme song for like an anime dub from the 90s, and as someone who watched anime like dubbed shows, I have to agree with that. It does sound like the theme song a little bit when we get to the chorus, or something that will be used like in the closing credits. Legit, it's not a bad song, and I think some of the hate that it's getting is slightly unfair, but ultimately I think where I'm coming from is I knew that they needed a palate cleanser year, but I would have done something like what Switzerland's doing as far as a palate cleanser year, as opposed to this. Like a rock song after a rock winner that isn't coming anywhere near what won last year, to me feels like an instant kind of like Scarlet Letter and DOA type of situation. And I wouldn't have wanted to put my country in that space, but I don't think the song is as bad as people make it out to be. Well, next up we have Latvia. Latvia didn't have a lot of points, y'all. They didn't have a lot of points at all. And, I think that I was in this place where I was like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Latvia qualify, because I do think that certain people come to Eurovision for fun. They come to Eurovision for something that's kind of quirky. But I do think what's hurting the entry is the fact that the gimmick is not
Being green is hot.
the gimmick is not that this is a song about being green and like being vegan and, eating vegetables. The gimmick is the first line in the song, and they can't say it. They can't say it. So, what are we working with if they can't say it? I don't know. I have never tried so hard to like a Eurovision entry, because there's something about it. Like, I like the bass. I like the fact that they are a real band. Like, there's instrumentation here. I want to like this, and I like the funky elements of it, but I'm just not there. So I can see why Latvia is so low, but also I just want to say, if when I did this poll and we're talking about top rock entries, and this is so low in comparison to others, I think it begins to start putting things into perspective. So even though I was kind of thinking, oh yeah, like maybe some people really will like this, I feel a little bit lower about the chances. It doesn't seem to be catching on broadly. Next up we have Georgia, which, to be honest, in the fandom, I was kind of thinking that Georgia would be higher than what it was. Now, to be fair, I feel like Georgia's song hasn't been out that long, and I've been saying this about some of these delegations who wait till the last minute to drop these songs. I don't think that it is effective. I think some people think, oh, you come out last and then you just blow everyone out of the water. I think in recent years that has just not really been the case. I think coming out midway, where people have time to really digest it and then help you build momentum. When you drop within a cluster of songs and say your song isn't really immediate enough, you're not going to get those views. You don't have a moment to shine. And I do think with Georgia, I really wish that they would have dropped this sooner, because I like the song. I think it's really catchy. It does have sort of that indie lo-fi vibe. And then I love that sort of psychedelic hit in the song, which I don't know how they plan on doing it visually, but like even just when I listen to it, I visually kind of start to see things with it. So I really do wish that Georgia would have dropped their song sooner, point blank. I think all of the mystery surrounding it has ended up not working to its advantage. I would have just run the PR on this like totally different. I think the PR is hurting it. Now, next up we have Denmark, which I was happy to see Denmark a little bit high in this group. It's not the top of the group. It's not the top. We've got our top 3 coming up after this one. But I'm telling y'all, I did a TikTok on it. is something about the song that just hits. Now, if I have a critique for it, and I didn't come up with this, on Eurovision Fam, if you search YouTube Eurovision Fam, go over there, subscribe to the channel. There is a young woman over there, Lily, who is amazing and has great takes and is just true to herself when it comes to like talking about Eurovision and what she likes. So big ups, Lily. Lily said this, so I'm kind of stealing this from her. But I think what it was, and I don't know if when I watched it live I said it to myself and then just forgot, the beginning side of the song where we start off slow, we should come to the rock part sooner. And I think it's too late. We can't do anything about it now. But I think if we hit the rock part sooner, like all the things you said when I was just a kid, like, you know, telling me that okay, let me get to it. I needed to fit in. Okay, obviously y'all know I really like this song. Let me stop. I need to get it together. Yeah, no, but it's something about it that's so catchy. If this is what I want, that's how it's gotta be. You know, I love it. It's so catchy. I love the energy that they're bringing. This is, I think, a dark horse to qualify. I think a lot of people are discounting how sticky the song really is and just the panache that I think they're gonna deliver with it. I think that this is gonna be something that people don't forget. I don't know. I like it. I was glad to see it sort of in the middle of this pack of rock entries. Not at the top, in the middle, but in the middle is good because I'm telling you, I mean, you could be Bulgaria, which had basically 2 votes. Now, I will say we have a little bit of a gap, and we're moving on to our top 3, the rock tops. The top 3 of our rock tops. It's happening. It's Slovenia. I like the song. I don't know how to break it down. I like the ease into it. It sounds throwback in the best way. I actually saw a comment that was like, this is dated. Y'all really got to cut it. You really have to know the difference between something that is intentionally trying to sound old and something that thinks that it's sounding current and it's not. That is dated. People who think they're doing something and it's like, this sounds like 2002. This sounds like 1995 and you think it sounds current. That's something that's dated. This is intentionally trying to sound classic and it's doing it. I love the styling. The way that the song starts is actually really Dario Freire. I'm really surprised that people are not thinking about Dario Freire with this group, because even Dottie sort of had this sound that had a little bit of like a lo-fi throwback sound to it. And then also just the way that they're packaged. No, they don't have on sweaters. They're not going sort of for the quirky like styling, but what they're doing still, I think, has a little bit of that spirit. So I'm not saying the song sounds like Dario Freire, but it has the spirit. And I think when people watch it, when they sit at home, people are going to sense that spirit. They look young. Like, they look young on the stage, but they're doing this very throwback music. It is well sung. There were no bum notes. And it's just easy. You know, there's an ease about it. Sometimes Eurovision songs, I've said this in other videos, sometimes Eurovision songs, it sounds like it's trying to win. It sounds, and it's just like overworked. And it just sounds like they're trying to do something on the stage. And it ends up, instead of reading as we're coming to win and we're being competitive, it crosses that thin line over into being like desperate. There is nothing desperate about this entry. It is just authentic. It is easy. And it is something that, say, even if it were to not advance, people are going to like it. And we're going to miss it in the final. I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna miss it in the final. Now to our top 2. Up next, in number 2 position, it's San Marino, which means Finland was our winner. The Rock Tops. And I should just say, they were only separated by 5 votes. So that's saying something. Oh! It's something anthemic about it. And we now have Eurovision happening in arenas. You know, imagine what people are going to feel in the arena. Well, if we sell tickets. If we get tickets, if we have people in the arena. But this is one of those songs, even if you were in an empty room, it just reads like you're in an arena. To me, this is like a sports song. Da-na-na-na-na, hey, da-na-na-na-na. I like to move it, move it. It sounds like a song that needs to be played at a basketball game. Hey, all I need is your, hey, hey. You know, we need this in the final, y'all. We need it opening the final. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just asking for y'all to let it, you know, make it through. No, I'm not surprised to see this here. Achille Lauro is a showman. This performance is going to feel show-stopping on the stage. We know he's going to have some type of outlandish situation, I think, whether it be just in the way that he's dressed, whether it be in the gestures and movements he makes on the stage. If this does not advance, I'm okay if that's opening the door for some other countries in that semi to advance. I'm okay with that. But I really do feel like there would just be something great about seeing this at the Eurovision Grand Final, which is happening in Italy. Achille Lauro is a big deal in Italy. I just think that that would be something, and I would be into it, okay? I would be into it, but maybe I'm into it for the show. Maybe I have my producer hat on more so than I just have my casual fan viewer hat on. And so, yeah, at the top, it's Finland. Look, the studio cut of this song, I do like. And the crazy thing is, I think for a lot of people, this actually, like outside of Finland, in the fandom, it doesn't seem like this was even really like the out and out favorite in the fandom. But with my producer hat on, I will say it would be nice to see the Rasmus in the Eurovision Grand Final. They are a big name. I think it is really great to have big name seasoned performers on the Eurovision stage. I just think it's things like that that continue to cement the fact that the Eurovision Song Contest is such a force. Finland's song, I like it, but I will say I think Finland, given their track record and honestly the way that Europe treats Finland when it comes to qualification, I mean, Darude was a big deal too. So the Rasmus just having that name won't carry them. They really do need to bring it on the stage. And I think I said this in one of my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision videos, like seasoned performers mailing it in. And I'm not going to lie, at that national selection performance, it was hard for me not to feel like they were mailing it in a little bit, because it's just like, come on, bruh. You know you can't sound like that on the Eurovision stage. You know, in the live performance, the vocal was just not what it needed to be. But hopefully, when he is in Italy, he will be focusing on drinking tea, drinking honey, preserving his gift, so that on the stage, we can see the Rasmus and your winner of the Rock Tops. We want to see him in the final. Well, that was the Rock Tops, as voted on by Twitter. What do you think? Talk to me in the comments below. Do you not agree with my categorization of rock music? That's totally fine. Talk to me in the comments below. Do you feel like another one of these countries is the Rock Top? Well, hop down and talk in the comments below. This is a conversation, and you know what? I'm so excited for Eurovision 2022. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I got so much more content coming for you. Yes, I do. Bye.